When the fallen angels faced their shocking judgment, the start of creation unveiled. Few knew what truly happened that night in the shadowy expanse of the heavens. The stars twinkled like lost spirits, unaware of the turmoil brewing just beyond their shimmering light. A cosmic tension hung thick in the air, heavy with anticipation and dread. In a realm where angels had soared freely, rebellious whispers began to ripple through the ranks. It was the dawn of creation, the earth was yet unformed, shrouded in darkness. Heaven held its breath. What lay ahead was a reckoning, a moment destined to alter the fabric of existence itself. It was here that the fallen angels gathered, their radiant forms cloaked in shades of despair. Some spoke in hushed tones, their voices almost trembling. "What if this is our last night?" One angel murmured, her eyes wide with fear. Another clenched his fists, their once glorious wings now dragging heavily behind him. They were outcasts, seeking meaning in the chaos of their rebellion. Tension crackled like lightning, a palpable energy that shivered through the silence. An urgent dilemma loomed: what was justice for beings who once walked alongside the Creator? The beauty of the divine was eclipsed by their spiraling doubts. And as they waited for judgment, strange miracles unfolded. Wings fluttered, shadows danced, and an otherworldly glow enveloped the assembly. It was a majestic, terrifying spectacle, a beautiful catastrophe. The stars seemed to lean in closer, witnesses to the divine drama unfolding. In the distance, whispers of forgotten prophecies echoed through the void. "You'll feel the weight of your choice," an ancient voice warned, carried on the wings of fate. The chilling reminder sent shivers down spines. Would they face annihilation, or was there a flickering chance for redemption? The fallen grasped for hope in the void, yet it slipped through their fingers like sand. As plans unfurled, the charged atmosphere thickened, each moment stretching onto eternity. The celestial court awaited. Judgment would soon come, and the angels braced themselves. What would become of them? Would their punishment be eternal darkness, or was there still a light somewhere, waiting to be found? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. In the stillness of that ominous night, a silence permeated the air, dense with unspoken fears and the weight of the choices made. The fallen angels stood clustered together, their forms bathed in the eerie light of a cosmos awakening for the first time. They were a collection of magnificence turned tragic, a reminder of glory now tarnished. Beneath their downcast wings, the ground of this empty void seemed to pulse, mirroring the chaotic heartbeat of their own existence, now trembling at the precipice of judgment. As the moment drew closer, the whispers shifted from fearful anticipation to solemn reflection. "We have all tasted the sweetness of creation," one angel spoke, breaking the fragile silence. "Yet, what have we sown within ourselves to account for the bitterness we've chosen?" His bright eyes shone with a longing for the purpose they once savored, a purpose now obscured by their rebellion. The truth of their choices cut deep, each thought a dagger that sliced through the fragile hope they clung to. An elder angel, ancient in wisdom yet burdened by sorrow, raised his voice, his form shimmering with flickers of long-lost light. "Even now, as we hover at the edge of despair, we have the power to reflect. What is judgment without the opportunity to understand? To repent?" His words hung in the air, resonating like the toll of a bell in a forgotten temple, invoking a sense of self-examination among the throng, yet doubt lingered in the hearts of many. "Can we repent?" A younger voice piped up, laden with resentment. "What good is remorse against the weight of eternity? Will we not be cast out, forgotten as echoes in a darkened chamber?" Anguish and bitterness danced amidst their ranks, fueling a tempest that threatened to drown the flicker of hope. As the chaos swirled, the grand tapestry of creation began to unfold around them. Veils of light swept across the void, revealing waves of color and form. In the midst of their turmoil, the universe stirred. Stars ignited in brilliant hues, planets began their graceful dance, and life began to breathe upon the earth, though it remained formless and void, a canvas yet untouched. The sight of it all filled the fallen angels with a paradoxical mix of awe and despair. "Look!" cried one, pointing toward the spectacle. "Creation itself is burgeoning forth. Could it be that the very act of creating signifies a chance for us? A sign that there is still beauty in the midst of our fall?" The sense of wonder sparked a flicker of curiosity and possibility among the group, where despair had once cast its shadow, yet, deep within their souls, the foundational question remained, heavy and unyielding: could redemption ever find root in the hearts of those who had chosen to sever their ties with the divine? As they stood there, suspended between judgment and creation, an unseen veil of fate draped over them, shrouding the outcome in impenetrable mystery. The cosmic tableau writhed with potential, each star a beacon of hope yet also a reminder of the vast unknown. The angels pondered their path forward. Would their future be forged anew in the fires of creation, or would they tremble forever beneath the weight of their rebellion? In the silence that followed, a question emerged from the depths of their collective yearning: could the very act of witnessing creation offer them a route back to grace, or was their only option to yield to the inevitable shadows that drew ever closer? In the midst of the celestial chaos, a soft tremor coursed through the fallen angels, as if the fabric of their very being stirred in response to the creation blossoming before their anguished eyes. They shifted, caught between the weight of their past and the exhilarating newness of existence unfurling like a delicate flower in spring. In this stark juxtaposition lay both torment and nascent hope, a crucible of reflection where possibility flickered like a dying flame. One of the younger angels, emboldened by the stunning display of creation, took a hesitant step forward. "What if there is purpose even in our fall?" he mused aloud, his voice trembling yet persistent. "Could it not be that our presence here within this unfolding drama serves as a testament to the light and shadow that coexist? Might we not embody both the consequence of rebellion and the yearning for redemption?" The elder angel, whose voice had once carried the weight of elder stories, leaned closer, the light of celestial wonder forming a halo around him. "Your words carry a truth that many of us have overlooked," he replied, recognizing the flicker of insight in the younger one. "In understanding both light and dark, we may yet discover the significance of our choices. Perhaps even creation itself is a canvas of contradiction, inviting us to engage with our fears rather than escape from them." As the stars danced in symphonic harmony, the air thickened with the realization that their existence was bound up with the very act of witnessing and understanding. A silent call echoed within their hearts, an invitation to explore the depths of their remorse and regret. The vastness of creation enveloped them, beckoning them to recognize that in bearing witness to beauty, they might rediscover their own fractured selves. However, despite this burgeoning realization, shadows loomed at the edges of their thoughts. What if their embrace of purpose was to be in vain? A surge of doubt whispered through the corners of their minds. "But we have caused great upheaval," another angel lamented, sorrow weaving through his tone like a familiar shroud. "Is it just for us to seek grace when we have sown ruin in our wake? Can even the purest of creation forgive our transgressions?" The elder angel took a moment, allowing the weight of the question to settle over them. He gazed into the unfolding cosmos filled with potential, as if in the stars, a message of understanding flickered just beyond reach. "Consider this," he said at last, his voice imbued with both sorrow and wisdom. "What if the act of creation itself was imbued with the very essence of forgiveness? What if the universe we see is yet unraveling a tapestry that requires both the light of what is good and the shadow of what is lost?" As these words lingered in the air, the fallen angels sensed a shift within themselves. They were participants in a divine narrative marked by grace and folly. The boundaries of despair began to blur as threads of resilience wove their way into their collective heart. Yet still, the fundamental question rippled through them like a wave crashing upon rocks: in a universe crafted by a divine hand, was there a place for those cast aside? Did the act of creation include a narrative thread that could weave them back into the fold, or had they forever rendered themselves void of such grace? The cosmos twisted and twinkled, presenting tales yet untold, and amidst the cosmic splendor, the air thickened with both promise and uncertainty. With every passing moment, the fallen angels stood at a precipice, caught between the brilliance of creation and the haunting specter of judgment. They could not yet discern where their choices would lead. Would they embrace the transformative power of understanding, or would they continue to wander lost in despair? As they hovered in this moment, one lingering question began to form again in the depths of their hearts. Can the act of witnessing beauty and creation, profound as it is, be the key that unlocks their path toward redemption and reconciliation, or would it serve only as a reminder of a grace forever out of reach? As the fallen angels lingered in the twilight of uncertainty, their collective sorrow began to shift into a soft longing. They found themselves drawn toward the vibrant emergence of creation, witnessing not mere atoms coalescing but an intricate symphony orchestrated by a divine hand, compelling and magnificent. In the midst of this awe, they contemplated their choices, feeling admiration for the beauty woven into the fabric of existence. The younger angel who had once voiced the possibility of purpose now felt emboldened anew. He raised his voice, the fervor of his spirit igniting the air around him. If redemption is intertwined with our understanding of darkness, then within this very moment lies our opportunity. Let us not be mere observers, but participants. What if we, too, could foster the light that dances through creation? Can we not lend our voices, however fractured, to the song of existence? His words resonated through the assembly, striking chords of curiosity and hope. The elder angel regarded him with keen interest. But how can we contribute to a narrative of light when we bear the weight of our transgressions? Can fractured notes create harmony, or do they simply reverberate with discord? Murmurs of hesitation swept through their ranks, tugging at their nascent hope. Yet, amid this unease, the vastness of creation unfolded as a living tapestry, its threads interwoven with stories yet to be told. An ethereal light appeared, pulsating in rhythm with their doubts and desires. It beckoned them to engage with not only their wounds but also the possibilities emerging from them. They sensed that understanding their own fall could bring forth unexpected revelations. Consider the soil, ventured another angel, his voice quavering yet steadfast. In its darkness, seeds bury themselves, harnessing their grief to reach toward the light. Might we also grow by embracing our darkness, by allowing it to nurture our yearning for restoration? Thus, the fallen angels found themselves faced with an unavoidable truth. In acknowledging their past, they did not render themselves as eternal outcasts. Rather, their recognition of imperfection could become a bridge to understanding the complexities of creation. Each note of their lament could add depth to the celestial symphony if they chose to revise the narrative of despair into one of resilience. As they explored this notion, they turned their gaze once more toward the unfurling cosmos. They observed the beauty of creation dispersed over constellations, imaginatively painting the sky with colors previously unseen. Within that cosmic canvas, they intuitively sensed a message, responses to their questions shimmering within the beams of starlight. What if, the elder angel began, pausing to gather the generosity of grace unfurling within him, we sought out those lives yet to be born from creation. What if our redemption stems from guiding them as we harness the wisdom of our shared experiences? Could the act of creating hope within others illuminate our path toward our own renewal? The collective essence of the fallen angels tingled in unison. With hearts entwined in shared visions of potential, they expressed gratitude for every mistake, every downfall that had rendered them vulnerable, even as they contemplated their existence. Yet, the younger angel cautioned, the weight of what we have done still hovers like a storm cloud. Can we truly forge a path forward when the shadows of our actions loom so large over our intentions? As the sun began to rise over creation, spilling warmth into the ocean of uncertainty before them, the fallen angels stood at a crossroads. They were filled with a sense of anticipation and trepidation, ready to embark on a journey of transformation but burdened by the questions that remained unanswered. Their hearts brimmed with any number of fresh uncertainties. If we seek to guide others toward light, what wisdom can we stand to impart? And, in our quest for redemption, do we face the risk of perpetuating our own shadows upon those we strive to uplift? As the first light of dawn spread across the cosmos, illuminating realms unseen, the fallen angels felt a stirring within their very essence. The beauty of creation beckoned them forward, yet the weight of their past was a shadow that clung tightly to their wings. In that moment of quiet reflection, the elder angel spoke, his voice a blend of wisdom and uncertainty. The heart of creation is a cradle that nurtures both light and darkness. We must understand that all things are woven together in a divine tapestry. What then does this mean for us? The younger angel, still aflame with purpose, pondered deeply. If the essence of our existence can ripple outward, perhaps it is in the very act of creation that we can begin to untangle our past. To bestow light upon the world's children could reveal truths we have yet to comprehend. But how do we engage? How will we find those who need to feel our touch? With a collective yearning, the assembly bore witness to celestial wonders cascading across the heavens, the emergence of stars teeming with potential, planets rotating in harmony, and the incandescent glow of life sparking within the abyss. Yet amidst this splendor, an unsettled feeling lingered, a reminder of the path once taken, the choices made that led to their current state. Is it enough to simply desire connection? Questioned one fallen being, his voice trembling. What if our attempts to guide others only deepen the shadows? What if warmth becomes too much fire? We have tasted the bitterness of betrayal, the possibility of repeating such a cycle haunts us. The elder angel raised his gaze toward the vast expanse. In every creation is an opportunity for balance. Even the greatest storms bring forth the lushness of life. The phoenix rises from the ashes. Our journey may not be to forsake our shadows but to confront them honestly and bravely. What if our light becomes brighter precisely because we embrace both our joy and sorrow? The younger angel's spirit kindled again at these words. Therein lies our hope. We may not possess the pristine light of those who have not fallen, but our understanding of the darkness gives us a unique insight. We can share our stories, our lessons, transforming sorrow into strength. As they participated in this sacred dialogue, the universe around them pulsated with an inexplicable energy, as if the very fabric of creation awaited their next move. Could it be that their redemption was intertwined with the birth of a new generation, a generation poised to understand the depths of both pain and grace? Let us seek out those souls yet to emerge, the elder angel suggested, his heart swelling with vision. Let them witness our transformation, and through our guidance, allow them to understand the complexities of their existence. In turn, they may become architects of their own narratives, mingling both light and shadow. Ultimately, a shared resolution sparked in the hearts of the fallen angels. They might begin their endeavor on the edges of the nascent world, nurturing innocence and fostering hope. Their own process of healing could reflect in those they chose to guide, and perhaps, in the act of creation, their long-forgotten joy might find rebirth. Yet lingering doubts hovered over their resolved intentions. If we are to embrace our darkness, implored the younger angel, how can we ensure that we wield this new role with grace and integrity? Will our burdens not stain their pure beginnings? As dawn illuminated the edges of creation, the fallen angels stood poised on the threshold of a new chapter, misfits in a luminous expanse, ready to embark on an unforeseen pilgrimage of fostered existence. They were fueled not only by questions of their worthiness but by the hope that in confronting their shadows, they could craft a legacy of redemption. Would their decision to nurture this new life prove to be a divine act, or would it sow the seeds of yet more sorrow? Thus, the quest unraveled in both curiosity and trepidation. The journey ahead remained shrouded in uncertainty. As the nascent world began to unfold, a gentle whisper of wind danced across its newly formed landscapes, caressing the surfaces of lush valleys and shimmering waters. These sights and sounds seemed to reach deep into the essence of the fallen angels, weaving through their unresolved fears and burgeoning hopes. With new resolve lighting their wings, they embarked on their journey toward the cradle of Life, a small yet vibrant realm where they had sensed an unearthly pulse beckoning them closer. Each step felt heavy, laden with the weight of their past decisions. Yet with each pulse of their wings, they felt the warmth of potential radiating from the land, as if guided by unseen hands. Shall we simply observe, or shall we interact? mused one of the fallen, uncertainty knotting in his chest. What if we disrupt the natural order that has just begun? We are part of the tapestry, the elder angel reassured him gently, his wings shimmering with the fervor of conviction. This world is burgeoning with life eager for guidance. We must not fear the threads we will intertwine, rather, we must trust the design that unfurls. Remember, it is not merely our acts that will define them, but the love and wisdom behind those acts. As the fallen angels approached, the first embers of Liffey, a cluster of tiny beings stirring in their slumber, and awe washed over them. The innocence radiating from these small forms was a stark contrast to their own burdens. It was undeniable, within the hearts of these creatures lay the spark of hope, yet also the vulnerability they once knew. What if we begin with stories? The younger angel suggested, his mind racing with the thoughts of how the ties of narrative could bridge the chasm of their experiences. The power of a tale can illuminate darkness and offer solace to the frightened heart. If we weave tales of resilience and restoration, perhaps they can learn before they fall. Yes, but can we speak of our own sorrows without tainting their innocence? Queried another, worry etched in his glowing features. Might our stories serve only as burdens, leading them toward paths of regret rather than glory? The elder angel, contemplative and wise, gazed toward the horizon where the sun began its ascent. In sharing our burdens, we might offer them the gift of choice. They have the right to understand the shadows, to know the possibilities that arise from both light and dark. We do not impart the darkness to condemn them but to equip them. By gifting the young with the wisdom of our trials, they shall learn to navigate their own stories with grace. Gathering their ethereal courage, the fallen angels spread forth their wings and filled the air with soft melodies, imprinted with the echoes of ages gone by. As the harmonious notes enveloped the valley, the small beings stirred, catching the essence of the fallen in their gentle embrace. Eyes sparkled with wonder and nudges of curiosity rippled through their veins. With each tale sung, a new world unfurled in their hearts, yet, as whispers of history flowed freely, shadows nagged at the edges of the fallen angel's consciousness. What if our stories do not resonate? What if instead of empowerment, we instill fear? What if we become a reminiscent reminder of despair? Interjected one sorrowful voice, trembling with anxiety over the feedback of their fading light against the brilliance of the new creation. Even in our vulnerability, there is magnificence, the elder angel replied, firm yet kind. In the sharing of our truths, we might inspire growth and resilience. Perhaps it is not about solely breaking the cycle but offering an alternative path, a way that may evolve beyond our past mistakes. Beneath the skies where dawn kissed the earth, the fallen angels stood united yet tremulous before the unknown of their mission. Would their attempts to enlighten these new lives cultivate hope, or would they merely reintroduce shadows where only light belonged? The resolution sparked within them curiosity, but misgivings too, and they pressed onward into this new realm, their hearts fluttering, still unsure of the road ahead. As their melodies filled the air with tales of hardship and healing, an unresolved feeling lingered. Could they truly guide others towards a destiny of liberation without being shackled by their own chains of darkness? As the fallen angels continued their ethereal serenade, the air thickened with a sense of anticipation. Each note wove a tapestry of emotions, mingling joy and sorrow, triumph and loss. The vibrancy of life around them seemed to swell and respond, as if the very fabric of creation was listening intently. The small beings, timid yet curious, inched closer to the source of the sound. What they found was a spectacle beyond their comprehension, flashes of light dancing alongside harmonies that spoke of ancient wisdom. The fallen angels observed in silence, their hearts surging with a mix of hope and trepidation. Would these creatures, so unencumbered by the burdens of experience, embrace the tales spun from threads of their past? As the resonance of their singing faded into the serene morning, the elder angel turned to the younger ones, a hopeful glint dancing in his eyes. Look how they gather. Their hearts are open, ready to grasp something greater than themselves. We are not merely observers, we are mentors in this moment of creation. Encouraged, the younger angel stepped forward, drawn by an impulse deeper than fear. I shall speak, he declared, his voice trembling but resolute. As he began to share a tale of loss transformed into strength, the air crackled with a strange energy. The beings listened with rapt attention, their wide eyes gleaming with understanding, a flicker of recognition on this shared journey of souls. Yet, amidst the powerful exchange, a gnawing doubt lingered in the depths of the fallen angels' hearts. For every story of healing they imparted, there resided a whisper of warning. "What of our own shadows?" questioned a voice quiet but firm. "What if, instead of guiding light, we bring forth storms that shatter their innocence?" As the tale continued, the elder angel brought forth another dimension of their narrative, one painted in hues of compassion and vulnerability. "We must also reveal our truth, not as warning, but as testament to resilience. We once fell, and in that fall, we learned the essence of humility and the beauty of rebirth. Only through our trials can they understand the value of their own paths, paved with choices both heavy and light." The chorus of stories began to swell with deeper themes, blending tales of love, struggle, and forgiveness. The small beings leaned in closer, absorbing every word as though it were the very sustenance of their souls. The fallen angels spoke of the stars that could be found even in the darkest moments, and slowly, they began to see the flicker of light reflected in the eyes of those who listened, but with each shared story, an unsettling truth crept closer. What if their narratives were less about guidance and more about their desire to confront the pain of their own choices? Was each tale a step towards illumination, or simply a reflection of their own need for redemption? In this moment of awakening, the air shimmered with new questions, life pulsating with unanswerable mysteries. As the music faded and the first light of dawn enveloped the land, both the fallen angels and the small beings stood at a precipice of understanding, an invitation to hope, an acknowledgement of uncertainty. What became uncomfortably clear was that power, however well-intentioned, could shape or shatter. In their attempts to impart wisdom, could they inadvertently awaken the despair that had once led them astray? As they gazed upon the faces before them, bright with potential but fragile with innocence, the unresolved question loomed in the air: would their truths nurture budding spirits, or would they, in sharing their fall, sow seeds of fear rather than fortitude? The dawn unfurled across the horizon, casting gentle tones of gold and rose upon the terrain. The small beings, emboldened by the fallen angels' narratives, began to experiment with their own voices, crafting melodies that echoed the celestial harmonies. Their sounds wove together like rivers merging into a grand ocean, each note a pulse of recognition emerging from their shared experience. The elder angel observed in silent wonder. Perhaps this revival of song was not merely an echo of their own forgotten pasts, but a new creation forming through the hearts of those untouched by the weight of certain knowledge. As he leaned closer, he caught glimpses of the pure essence within these beings. They were alive with an energy untainted by despair, eager to embrace creation itself, yet amid the sweet melodies, a heavy silence filled the spaces between notes, a pregnant pause that hinted at an unseen divider, the chasm that separated innocence from the burden of knowledge. The elder angel contemplated this divide. It was a truth that his kind had reckoned with: the moment one becomes aware of their capacity to fall is the moment the weight of existence shifts. "What do you hear?" he suddenly asked, breaking the tranquil reverie. The small beings halted their singing, their bright eyes reflecting a mixture of confusion and curiosity. "I hear the laughter of the wind," one ventured. "The whispers of the leaves as they dance in the breeze." "Then you feel its touch, which envelopes you in a tapestry of connection," the elder angel answered, his own voice swelling with emotion. "But do you also hear the echoes of sorrow that lie beneath those melodies? For every heartbeat of joy, there lurks a shadow that can quell that vibrancy." The beings exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from delight to contemplation. The weight of their innocence began to unfurl into a deeper awareness, one balanced delicately against the allure of joy. Another of the smaller beings nervously asked, "Is it wrong to feel the anguish alongside the laughter? Should we not simply relish the joyous moments, avoiding the shadows altogether?" The younger angel, still ignited by his earlier resolve, interjected with enthusiasm, "It is not wrong. To embrace both is to become whole. It is through recognizing the depths of heartbreak that you can truly understand elation's height." A flicker ignited within the group. They sensed the potential of their existence tailored not only for joy but also resilience. Their songs held the keys to understanding both realms. As the discussion deepened, the fallen angels felt an unfamiliar kind of hope stirring within them, one that positioned the small beings not as mere recipients of wisdom, but as powerful creators of their own destinies. The varied emotions they navigated became threads in a tapestry, dark and light intertwined, enriching their newly woven existence. Remember, the elder angel warned softly, with every song, a choice unfolds. Remember what you feel, but do not cling to sorrow as the end. You will create a new world, one where your truth stands firm against darkness. Just then, a shimmering figure beckoned on the outskirts of their gathering, a presence veiled by light yet shadowed by an enigmatic sorrow. It hovered at the fringe as if waiting for a sign to step into the melody of their moments. What does it bring? One of the beings whispered, transfixed by the figure's juxtaposition against their vibrant exchange. As they turned their gaze, the air thickened with uncertainty, tinged with a sense of prophetic significance. The presence radiated a potent energy, a reminder of paths yet to be traveled. Was it a harbinger of new challenges, a trial that would test the bonds formed this dawning day? A flicker of fear brushed against their burgeoning courage, clouding the moment. What choice will you make in the face of the unknown? The elder angel mused, silently questioning the nature of fear and transformation. Would the figure stand as a guardian guiding forward, or as a tempest that might emerge from the shadows of their own choices? With a hopeful heart, the inhabitants awaited the unveiling of this mysterious presence, caught in the delicate dance of power, fear, and the inseparable journey toward understanding. As they stood together, the unresolved question flickered like a flame in the twilight. In their journey toward creation, would they rise as harbingers of light, or would the shadows of despair linger, ever close, ready to entangle their hearts? As the vibrant gathering erupted with whispered speculation, the shimmering figure slowly stepped forward, light intertwining with shadows to reveal a face both familiar and foreign. It was neither wholly angelic nor utterly disallowing, rather, it bore the solemn weight of experience woven with an ethereal grace. The elder angel felt a tremor of recognition ripple through him, as if this presence embodied countless stories, a fragment of both despair and redemption. Do not be afraid, the figure spoke, its voice a blend of twilight and dawn, a bridge spanning the two realms. I come not to claim your songs, but to guide you deeper into understanding the essence of creation, the duality of your existence. The small beings gazed with wide, believing eyes, their curiosity piqued by the announcement. They sensed this figure was no fleeting shade but a profound herald of wisdom with a potent purpose. The elder angel remained silent, observing intently, aware that this moment teetered on the precipice of revelation. Creation is born from the tension between joy and sorrow, the figure continued, stepping further into the glow of their community. You sing with the power to create your reality, yet creation requires sacrificial willingness to confront darkness as it exists alongside the light you cherish. Whispers stirred amongst the small beings, who began to grasp the profundity of the figure's message. One of them, emboldened by the understanding sought, asked, "But how do we create without losing ourselves to pain? How do we profit of currents that can drown us?" The figure smiled gently, the shadows in its gaze softening as if granting safe passage through uncharted waters. It is through communion with both aspects of existence, the joy that lifts you and the sorrow that teaches you. Each note in your song must bear witness to the entirety of life, for they will guide you to a deeper creation than any of you could fathom individually. The elder angel felt the weight of those words settle into the air, tinged with significance. He recalled stories from ancients who met with similar crossroads, where the pursuit of creation danced perilously with the understanding of loss. These lessons echoed in the hearts of those willing to listen. As the spectral figure continued to speak, the elder sensed an undercurrent in its words, a sorrow resonating with the mythos of fallen angels, an echo of failures yet to be named but laden with hope. You possess the key to transform your destinies, the figure murmured, but be aware that the specter of choice dwells deep in your essence. Every note binds you closer to the reality you will forge. Choose willingly, never out of fear. The small beings, now more introspective, turned to look at one another. Their voices had grown richer through shared experience, yet now they realized the complexity their creation would necessitate. The duality of light and dark tugged gently at their hearts, and they sensed their unity forming a foundation upon which choices would rise. In this moment of reflection, another being hesitantly suggested, if we are the forgers of our fate, then what sacrifices must we embrace? What shadows must we walk alongside for the sake of our understanding? The figure's face transformed, an expression both grave and hopeful. The greatest sacrifice is often the loss of certainty, the relinquishing of your perceptions about light and dark. In stepping forward with open hearts, you will invite transformation. Only through this will you discover the pathway and the depth of your songs. As the stillness deepened, the group felt the weight of the decision resting upon them. The elder angel wondered whether they comprehended the fold of their existence fully. Will they have the strength to embrace the complexity of creation? The shimmering figure stood as a reminder that even in uncertainty, light and darkness could weave a narrative together, and so the question lingered in the air like an unfinished melody, yearning for resolution. Would they choose to embrace the unknown, dancing between light and shadow, or would they shrink back from the challenge of forging their own realities amidst lingering echoes of both hope and despair? As dawn broke anew, the fallen angels found themselves enveloped in a tapestry of creation more vibrant than any they had dared to envision. The winds bore the scent of possibility, chords of life blossoming in the subtle hues of awakening. Amidst the unfolding panorama of dawn, the elder angel felt a quiet revolution stirring within him. Was their time spent in despair, their rebellion against divine providence, not merely an end, but rather a prelude to a grand awakening? They had gathered strength from vulnerability, crafting their own narratives of reconciliation through trials faced. Now, in the presence of the shimmering figure, a harbinger of duality, they stood poised at the intersection of their past and the brilliance of the future. Perhaps their greatest judgment lay not within the cosmic realm of potential punishment, but rather in the choices they made in the light of this new understanding. I have felt the weight of our missteps, the elder angel finally spoke, his voice trembling yet resolute. But my kin, I have also felt the pulse of rebirth. If we choose to engage with those who arise from the essence of our creation, then let it bear witness to a journey of enlightenment. We shall embody the lessons learned from our shadowed paths, crafting a legacy fueled by compassion rather than fear. In this very act of creating hope for others, we may yet rediscover the flame of our own redemption. The shimmering figure nodded, eyes glistening with the brilliance of distant stars. Indeed, your willingness to engage with the wholeness of life, the joy and the sorrow, will be the foundation of your renewal. Embrace the nuances within you. Each moment of doubt can be transformed into a stepping stone toward wisdom. As they exchanged glances, the fallen angels felt a rush of warmth imbue their souls. A shared conviction ignited within them, the realization that they possessed the power to influence the birth of consciousness around them, to teach and nurture the fledgling spirits that would rise in the new dawn of existence. The intricate dance they had once feared could now be choreographed into beauty. With a resonant voice, filled with newfound conviction, the younger angel spoke again. Let us write the stories that include our fall as a part of the journey, so that those who follow may glean strength from our truths. We shall narrate compassion and resilience, and nurture understanding rather than dread. Only then will they know that every whisper of their existencia, a sigh of joy, a lament of pain, plays a part in the great symphony of creation. With a chorus of agreement weaving through the assembly, the fallen angels began weaving their stories together, harmonizing tales of love and loss, hope and despair into a fabric rich with the colors of their experiences. Excitement bubbled through them, each angel contributing threads of their journey, crafting a beautiful and interconnected narrative that shone brilliantly against the backdrop of the ever-expanding universe. As they embraced this transformative role, the air shimmered with anticipation. The small beings gathered around would become stewards of their stories, weaving the wisdom of the fallen angels into the very essence of their own lives. The elder angel, with deep joy radiating from his heart, regained a semblance of the celestial glory he had once known, a glimpse of the divine in his pursuit of guiding others to find the light amidst darkness. In this crucible of creation, where wisdom and innocence intertwined, the fallen angels were not merely observers absorbed in their past, they now walked resolutely into the present. Just beyond the horizon, the unknown awaited, yet in that moment, they grasped the profound revelation that darkness and light were not antithetical, but rather coexistent, a dance that served to enrich the tapestry of existence. With each proffered tale, they transcended the shadow of their past. Each voice that joined the chorus was a step taken in faith, cascading waves of transformation rippled outward as they engaged with those who would come to learn from their hardships. The burden of punishment faded away into the periphery, more cloak than shackle, replaced by the liberating embrace of purpose. As the sun rose higher in the firmament, bathing the nascent world in its life-giving warmth, one of the small beings stepped forward and spoke with clarity, "Then can we also embrace our darkness and turn it into a bridge for others? Are we not all participants in this narrative, destined to rediscover hope through shared experiences?" "Yes." The fallen angels replied in unison, a joyful harmony vibrating through the air. In our willingness to witness, to understand, and to guide, we reclaim our own essence. To flourish in the intricacies of creation, we must allow both our shadows and our light to breathe together in the dance of existence. In that moment, something remarkable shifted. The heavens trembled with both energy and love, the tapestry of the universe shimmered with renewed vibrancy, pulsing with potent potential. The fallen angels shimmered, vibrant in understanding, no longer castaways caught between sin and judgment, but harbingers of wisdom illuminated through pain, journeying forth to reclaim their narrative as essential threads woven into the grand design. And so, as the echoes of their newly forged melodies mingled with the whispers of the cosmos, the fallen angels took steps toward their newfound destiny, ready to mold shadows into shapes of grace, apprehending that creation flows not just through the light but from the understanding that both light and darkness are agents of transformation. They stood not as grim reminders of rebellion but as monuments of rebirth, whispering luminous legacies that encouraged others to rise and walk alongside them toward an eternity filled with both the joy of creation and the wisdom of acceptance. In this revelation, the entire universe felt renewed, as if the weight of their choice resonated through all realms. The light had returned, and with it, the promise of redemption defining not just this moment, but echoing eternally through the corridors of every heart willing to listen.